When life becomes too heavy to bear, when your heart can no longer find a place to lean on, remember this: He has never left. We are not alone in the darkness. There is always an invisible hand upholding you, even when you can't feel it. In the midst of confusion and weariness, God is our refuge, the one who keeps us standing when everything else falls apart. Have you ever felt like you're fighting alone? Sleepless nights, moments when no one seems to understand, and the only sound echoing back is your own sigh in an empty room. We've been there, where worries crowd out faith and fear overshadows peace. We might hide our pain from others, but we cannot hide it from Him. God sees your heart completely, the fatigue, the weakness, and the longing to be held. And the most beautiful thing is He doesn't turn away from our brokenness. He draws near, listens, and sustains us. Right now, in the midst of uncertainty, in the internal tug of war you can't quite name, pause. Take a deep breath. We are not just surviving, we are being loved, being gently cradled by the Almighty. Let us come before Him and say, Father, I come to you, not because I am strong, but because I am weary. I come not with empty hands, but with the trust that you are my strength in times of trouble. Please remind me that though circumstances may change, you never leave. Sometimes in the darkest days, do you feel like there's no one left to lean on? When everything you once relied on suddenly falls apart, a job that doesn't work out, tensions in the family, a careless word that wounds you, or a door you thought was secure, shuts right in front of you. We've grown used to bracing ourselves, whispering, I'm fine, while retreating into silence every night. But sometimes, what we need isn't a solution, it's a safe place for the soul. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. This verse from Psalm 461 is not just a word of comfort. It is a powerful declaration that God does not wait for us to be strong before we come to Him. He is the shelter, the one you can run to when the storm within is raging. No flowery words needed. No need to prove yourself. Just come. He's already there. Have you ever felt like you're drifting in an endless sea without a single firm anchor in sight? That's when you must remember, help from God is never absent. It's just that sometimes our hearts are too distracted to notice. He never promised you wouldn't face trouble, but He did promise you wouldn't face it alone. And in those very moments of crisis, when your faith is tested, God draws closer than ever. You might be thinking, I've prayed, but nothing has changed. That doesn't mean He hasn't heard you. Sometimes God doesn't solve the problem right away, because what He wants to do first is heal your heart. He lifts you little by little through His very presence, not by removing every difficulty like magic. Because if every storm disappeared instantly, how would we learn to trust the one who never changes? And here is the wonder: when you dare to be weak before Him, He becomes your strength. God is not distant or abstract as we sometimes imagine. He is not far. He is a very present help, just as His word says. So close that when you cry silently in the night and no one knows, He knows. So near that, when everyone else turns away and you are left wrestling with your soul, He is still there, holding you, keeping you from falling completely. We cannot always choose our circumstances, but we can choose the refuge of our soul. And when you choose to run to God instead of away from Him, you are choosing what is firm in a fragile world. You are choosing strength over despair. You are choosing light over darkness. In truth, every fear in life stems from the feeling of being abandoned, separated from love, from safety, from everything you once held on to. But dear friend, if you're feeling that way, remember, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Do you see? That promise has never changed. Sometimes we just need a quiet moment to hear it again more clearly. We've spoken of refuge, a place of peace God has prepared for every storm-weary soul. But you know, even in that safe place, your heart may still tremble. Insecurity doesn't always come from the outside. Often it creeps in from within. chaotic thoughts, old wounds that haven't healed, fears you don't even know how to express. What have you feared the most? Losing someone, failing, being hurt again, or just the simple fear that tomorrow won't turn out the way you hoped? These fears, though invisible to others, can paralyze your spirit. They make you hesitate to take the next step, they weaken your prayers, and they shake the foundation of your faith. And then in the middle of that storm, you're reminded, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 4:110. Do you hear it? That's not just a comforting phrase. It's the voice of God himself, the one who created the heavens and the earth, yet cares for every sigh you breathe. This verse is like an embrace for your trembling soul, not just telling you be strong, but saying I will make you strong. We are not condemned for being afraid. He knows fear is a human response. But in his love, God does not let fear consume us. He is with you not only in your moments of faith, but also in your moments of doubt. Not only in joyful worship, but also when you no longer have the strength to pray. Did you notice this detail? I will uphold you with my righteous right hand, not someone else's hand, his own. The hand that shaped the stars is reaching out to hold you up. That means his support isn't temporary or shallow. It's a promise, a commitment that will never be withdrawn. So when your heart starts to worry about tomorrow, when unopened doors make you question, when the darkness in your mind feels heavier than the light, remember, you don't have to face it alone. You don't have to carry it all by yourself. You have God, not just as a distant idea, but as the one who is present in every breath, every step you take. Some days his help comes through a friend, checking in a gentle word, or a sacred song that touches your heart. But on other days, he is the quiet peace in the middle of chaos, just enough to let you know you are being held, even if the path ahead is still unclear. There will come a time amidst the chaos and noise when you begin to feel a peace that does not come from this world. And when that moment comes, you will understand more deeply the words spoken by Jesus. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. John 1:4-7. This promise does not come from a religious leader, nor from a philosophy of life. It comes from the one who walked the path of the cross, who carried the burdens of the world, so that you and I might now carry lightness in our souls. The peace he gives is unlike anything the world can offer, unconditional, unshaken by circumstances, unbound by reason or emotion. It is supernatural peace, flowing from perfect love and the ever-present presence of the Lord. Are you feeling torn by a life decision? Lost amidst things beyond your control? Know this: Jesus does not merely give peace as a gift. He is peace. When you are in him, even if storms rage outside, your heart can remain calm, like still waters on a quiet lake. The words, "Do not let your hearts be troubled," are not a harsh command. They are a tender invitation. Jesus invites you to lay down your burdens, to take refuge in him, and in exchange, receive a peace that no one can take from you. You don't need to have all the answers to feel at rest. You only need to know that he is walking with you, step by step, moment by moment. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to simply pause, silence the noise in your mind, stop trying to control everything, and just sit quietly in his presence. The peace of God doesn't come when you are worthy, but when you dare to admit how much you need him now more than ever. There will be moments when it feels as though everything is against you, misunderstood, isolated, cornered. Such moments can make you feel like there's nothing left to hold on to. But if you quiet your soul, you might hear a gentle reminder full of hope. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:3-1. Do you hear it? That is the voice of the one who holds all of history, declaring that you are not alone. God is not only beside you, he is for you. He does not merely watch you fight, He fights for you. And if God, the Almighty Creator, the one with limitless power, is on your side, then everything else suddenly seems small. It doesn't mean there won't be opposition. It doesn't mean life will always be smooth. But it does mean that every force against you will ultimately fail to overcome the love and purpose that God has set for your life. When you are rejected, God accepts you. When you are misunderstood, He understands your heart fully. When you are weak, He becomes your strength. The world may cause you to doubt yourself. Failure may tempt you to give up. Harsh words may leave deep wounds in your soul. But dear friend, if God is on your side, then even if the world turns its back on you, you are never abandoned. He is the one who speaks the final word, and that word is not defeat, but victory in Him. Picture a warrior standing alone on a battlefield surrounded by countless enemies, yet behind him stands a mighty army of heaven. You are that warrior, and God's presence is what makes all the difference. There is something even greater than victory on the outside. It is victory on the inside, when fear no longer controls you, when your soul no longer trembles before the unknown, when you realize that you were not created to live in timidity or collapse under pressure, but to live in power, love, and stability. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. God did not place within you a spirit of fear. He did not design you to live in guilt, anxiety, or shrink back into the shadows. No, He placed in you a spirit of strength that you may rise, a heart full of love that you may overcome bitterness, and a mind of sound judgment that you may remain awake and steady in a chaotic world. Isn't that a wonder? Strength but not hardness, love but not blindness, discernment but not withdrawal. God gives you a divine balance so that you can be steady through the storms, yet gentle toward the wounds of others and your own. You don't have to wait for a perfect day to step out of your fear. You can begin today. You don't need to shout to prove your courage. Just keep walking in faith, even if your steps still tremble. That too is strength. And God sees that. He doesn't expect you to be above it all. He simply invites you to trust that He is in you, and that is more than enough. Maybe today you're still in the middle of your journey. Maybe the struggles haven't disappeared. Maybe the fear still lingers, but you are no longer the same. You are no longer alone. You now have the living Word as your foundation. You have a God who never changes and never withdraws His promises. Now let us pray. Let us draw near to Him, the one who has always been there, waiting to embrace your heart fully. O Father, the shelter of my soul when storms arise, I do not come here with eloquence or completeness. I do not bring a blazing faith nor triumphant praise. What I have this morning is merely a fragile breath, a heart throbbing with anxiety, and an inner self wrestling with unanswered questions. And I know you do not turn that away. Before the sun even rises, you are already there. You do not wait for me to speak to notice me. You've heard my sighs in the night. I've never truly been alone, only unaware too often to recognize it. I'm no longer trying to hide this weariness. I've grown too used to being fine in the eyes of others. But today with you I don't have to perform. No more bottling up emotions. No more pretending to be strong. No need to paint a picture of perfect faith. I come as I am, fragile, full of doubts, yet still open, still seeking you. You are the shepherd who does not let his sheep stray without pursuit. So please, enter the chaos I dare not touch. Shine light into the corners I've long hidden, gently hold the pieces of my soul, worn thin by expectations, comparisons, and silent fears. I do not come to present myself or to please you. I come because I need to be comforted. I need to be loved, not for what I do, but simply because I am yours. A part of me once believed that only the strong are worthy of love, that I must achieve, must be steadfast, must understand it all before I can come close to you. But today, you remind me It is in the collapse, in the uneven breathing, in the smallness of my being, that you draw closest. Remind me that weakness does not make me a stranger to you. It is the very reason you step in. Don't let me live under the burden of believing I must face it all alone. Don't let me confuse control with peace. Strip away every disguise I've worn, so I may finally see you still love me, fully and unconditionally. You do not ask me to explain why I'm exhausted. You already know. You've seen what I've left unsaid. You've heard the prayers I couldn't form into words. And because of that I know, your love does not arrive after I'm okay. It is the very thing that keeps me from falling apart. Teach me that real strength is found in surrendering into your arms. That maturity is not avoiding weakness, but knowing where to return. And within me today, that longing outweighs all else. Lord, I do not need a miracle to prove. You love me. I need your presence. I need to know you are here, not because I'm worthy, but because you are faithful. Touch me with the gentleness this world has forgotten. Touch the parts I've spent years protecting, but now just long to heal. There are days when I don't need to be taught or led or corrected. I just need to be understood. I need to be held. I need a place to collapse and not be pushed away. And if that place is you, then please hold me, even when I bring nothing at all. When the weight is too heavy, when my heart is ready to quit, when my mind wants to flee from itself, remind me I am still the one you have chosen. Not because of what I can do, but because you knew me before I ever existed. Not because I am whole, but because your love is greater than my cracks. You lead me not only through green pastures, but also through the darkest valleys. The restoration you promise is not a prize for performing well, but a grace that waits patiently at my point of collapse. May your peace surround me. No need for logic, no need for explanation, only truth. When I am too tired to run, give me strength to stand still. When I don't know what to pray, please be the prayer in my place. When I cannot lift myself, be the arms that carry me just as you promised. I want to let go of what has grown too heavy, the self-criticism, the obsession with doing everything right, the unreachable expectations, the draining relationships, the belief that I am only lovable when I'm flawless. Instead, I receive your call that I am known, deeply, thoroughly, that I am found, never forgotten, that I am carried, never judged. Remind me that life is not a race toward worthiness. You are not a supervisor. You are Father. And I am your child, without needing to prove it. Help me live today as one who is loved, not as one who is lost and striving to find their way back. Let everything I do, from the smallest task to the greatest challenge, be rooted in my relationship with you, not in fear of losing grace. When I face difficulty, remind me you fight for me. When I face lies, remind me you are truth. When I fall, don't just help me stand, but stay beside me. Because so often I don't need to be fixed. I just need to be in your presence. I need a safe place to cry. I need a space where my heart won't be judged. And if your heart is that place, then I step in trembling. Heal the memories that keep me from trusting love. Restore the parts of me I've sacrificed for too long just to please others. Give me courage to live honestly, even when I'm misunderstood. And when this day comes to a close, may I lie down, not in exhaustion, but in the deep assurance that I do not carry my life alone. I don't need to pretend to be okay to be loved. I don't have to keep running just to feel accepted. Because you have gone before me, loved me, first known me always, and still called me yours. May today be a love song, not one I sing to you, but one you whisper to me. And in every beat, in every breath, I long for one thing, to be near your heart. For there I find myself. Amen. There may be no miracle that bursts forth right after this prayer. The burdens you carry may still remain. The calendar is still packed, the relationship still mending, and the challenges ahead still await. but something has changed. Your heart has encountered him. Maybe it's just a glimmer breaking through the dark, a deeper breath than usual, a quiet pause that reminds you are not alone. His presence is not always loud, but always certain. Not always thunderous, but sometimes just a whisper. Enough for your soul to know it is being held by love. Do not measure the value of his presence by fleeting feelings. Some days you will leave the place of prayer feeling nothing, and that's okay. Faith is not built on emotion, but on God's unchanging faithfulness. He is still there even when you don't feel it. He still loves even when you can't love yourself. He still leads even when you feel stuck. That is the wondrous nature of a living relationship. It's not about how long you can hold on, but that he never lets go. So, dear one, don't walk away from this prayer thinking you must go back to fighting alone. Let the truth sink deep. Everything you've poured out to him has not fallen into the void. God has not only heard, he is already moving. Maybe you don't see it yet, but he is making a way. Maybe you don't understand yet, but he is aligning things. Maybe you're not yet rested, but he is renewing you, piece by piece, with kindness, with patience, with unfailing love. And finally, if there is one thing you carry from this encounter, let it be the assurance that you are loved. Truly, deeply, unconditionally. No one can take that from you. No circumstance can erase it. No pain can make God withdraw his promise. Today you have met him, not as a distant deity, but as the good shepherd, the tender father, the faithful companion. And tomorrow, when you rise again, he will still be there, waiting for you, understanding you, walking with you, and that is enough. Thank you for joining today's prayer. May the peace of the Lord always be with you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to start each morning with him.